I became an expert at avoiding public speaking. And that's because I had a crippling fear of speaking, social anxiety, and ultimately it held me back in, in life, in my job, in my career, relationships, in business. And it's a long story, but to cut to the chase, I went on a bit of a transformational journey, managed to overcome my fear of speaking, and it's completely transformed every aspect of my life. And now I help share that message with my clients as well. So there's always a breaking point, isn't there? There's always a trigger. So there were two things for me. One, I was made redundant. I went through redundancy in a job. The whole company moved to a different country, so we were all made redundant. That was one thing. And from there, I really struggled to actually land another job because of my fear of interviewing and fear of speaking and presenting. So that was something that said to me, you need to change this. Another thing, a lot more personal, was I was asked to speak at a close family member's funeral, and I said no because I was just too scared. I might embarrass myself. And that's something I've always looked back and regretted. And that for me really pushed me to wanting to overcome this fear of speaking I had. From my perspective, and I'll talk about what we do as a business in a moment, but there's two things which were the most difficult things for me when I eventually did make that leap into entrepreneurship. Because, by the way, after I did eventually overcome my fear of speaking, I went on to land a standard corporate job, worked my way up to leadership level. I was working 9 to 5. So one of the hardest things about becoming an entrepreneur was walking away from that monthly paycheck, that regular income, which covers your bills, your mortgage, your food, your holidays. And so moving to entrepreneurship, that was pretty scary. And I think the second thing is the vulnerability to be able to say, this is me, this is what I do, this is my business, because ultimately opening yourself up to criticism, judgment, other people's opinions. So I think they're the two big things for me.